We just saw this image of television, right, with the price. So let's dive into the price and zoom in on it. So here we have the old price of 1,100 euros 99 and a new price of 1,000 euros 97. And for the next thing that I'm going to change, I have to explain you guys something about how sometimes physical concepts translate themselves to mental concepts. And this sounds a bit vague, but imagine a friend that lives far away. So we have a physical distance between us, and that is kind of big. And you feel also that your emotional distance to him is also a bit bigger because of the distance, right? There's a Dutch expression that says, better a close neighbor than a far friend. And this is the same thing. A mental concept, or a physical concept, living far away, translates into a mental concept. The connection that also feels a bit further away. Now, let's apply this to this price. Maybe you already guessed it. I'm increasing the distance between the old and the new price. And what happens, and this is actually a scientific study that studied this, that when we increase the size between the old price and the new price, also our thought of how big of a discount this is also increases. So this is really interesting. This is, again, the physical concept that translates into a mental concept. And for the next few slides that I'm going to show you are all these scientific researches stacked on top of each other. And we end up with maybe the perfect price of how this mentally works best, or in a psychological way works the best. So there's also a concept called processing fluency. And basically that means that things that we process easier are also processed more fluently. And if it's processed more fluently, we like it better. It's just as simple as that. And what makes a price in this case be processed more easily? Well, let's look at the change first. So instead of making the old price big, I've made it bigger. And this kind of makes sense because the old price is also bigger, right? It's 1,199, so it's 120 euros more, so it's bigger. So it also should be bigger in a font wise. So this is again a research that says that if the old price is bigger than the new price, this mentally makes more sense. This is more fluently processed. So this also feels like a bigger discount. And in the next change, in this change, I've made the old price not opaque and the new price more opaque. Same thing, if it's opaque, it feels lighter, and a lighter price feels smaller. And in this change, I've increased the font weight. So the old price is big, it's thick, it's bold, and the new price isn't anymore. And we can go even further. I can lose the dot here as well. And losing the dot basically just means that the price has gotten smaller in a how big it is way. And this is the last one that I want to show you guys for pricing then, at least. That's the red stripe. And apparently this only works for guys. So for guys, this feels like a bigger discount. And for girls, this is neutral. And it probably has something to do with how guys perceive the color red and how that has played a role in evolutionary theories and whatnot. So with all this in mind, we as an agency, we did an A/B test, or an ABCD test in this case. So on the left top corner, we saw the original price on this website. So in that image, it's on the right bottom, we see euro sign 18,00. So we have two things that we want to apply here. The first thing is leaving out the euro sign, as I already told you. And the second thing is leaving out the zeros, because also leaving out the zeros makes the price smaller. So it should be felt as a smaller price, right? So we tested this. And of course, I guess you might agree with me that the one on the right bottom should be the clear winner, because it doesn't have a euro sign and it also doesn't have the 2 zeros. But strangely enough, the one on the left bottom won. And we were quite amazed by this, because we thought, hey, right, the euro sign, it hurts, so leaving it out should mean less pain, should mean more conversion. But what we forgot is that maybe the fact that it isn't clear that it is a price without the euro sign is a bigger issue than leaving the euro sign away because it hurts. So this is also something to keep in mind when you're trying to apply this psychology insights. It's that basically it's on the top of the pyramid in changing a website, in doing some of a conversion test. Right? Sure, first the basics should be right. And in this case, that is the basic of knowing that it is a price. And to give a bit more insight of that, look at the following picture. And maybe you guys can already tell me what from what big retailer this one is. And while I can't hear you guys, and you're not allowed to raise your hands except for a high five, I guess most of you will
right do it. Amazon.
Amazon. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, so this is indeed Amazon. And it's really interesting. You guys, you didn't know, you don't see Amazon as a logo over here. The only thing you've seen is the price and how it's communicated, and maybe the button, right? The add to cart button. And because this is branded so well, Amazon is able to leave out the dollar sign in this case, because you recognize that this is the price, right? $15.71 is the price. So in this case, it makes more sense to leave it out. So when you try to apply the same thing, first look if you've branded your price correctly, if people know that that's the place where the price should be.